Hi there, so today I will be defending Troy and Gabriella from High School Musical. And yes, I love Sharpay, but that does not mean she was innocent, okay? She's actually my favorite character, but like I said, she was not innocent, okay? I feel like people that defend Sharpay are just, I don't know, I feel like they haven't even done high school theater or even theater at all, because some of the takes they have come up with are pretty crazy. Okay, Sharpay being the most experienced and dedicated there does not automatically guarantee her the role. She auditioned for a romantic lead alongside her brother, and on top of that, she changed the key and tempo of the duet without consulting Kelsey, the composer. And you're supposed to be respectful to the composer, and Kelsey was even trying to nicely tell her to sing the song the way it is written, and then Sharpay rudely snapped at her. Sharpay should be happy she even got cast considering how she was behaving. And she did not have any real competition until Troy and Gabriella came in, because as you can see, everyone on the auditions pretty much just sucked or were not even trying to fit the role at all. So Troy and Gabriella were a competition for her. And also, Troy and Gabriella pretty much accepted defeat when Miss Darbus didn't give them another chance, and they were just singing the duet without expecting anything out of it. And it's not their fault Miss Darbus forgave them for being late. And they were respectful to Kelsey, and they sang the duet as written and had the right romantic chemistry needed for the roles. So, yes, they did deserve those roles, and they did practice for their callback whenever they got the chance. So, to say that they just did nothing, yet got the role that they didn't deserve, is just not really fair because, yes, they did deserve it. If you could, now, it is safe to say that Miss Darbus is not exactly the best teacher, considering that she didn't even give Sharpay some kind of warning for the way she treated Kelsey and the way she forgave Troy and Gabriella for being late. Yeah, but that's not Troy and Gabriella's fault. And Sharpay just. And then she tried to sabotage Troy and Gabriella by changing the callback day to Friday, knowing that Troy and Gabriella couldn't make it. And no, Troy and Gabriella having other activities outside of theater does not mean they didn't. That does not mean that they can't do theater. I mean, even theater kids that want to like go on Broadway or whatever, they're allowed to have other interests and hobbies outside of theater. It's actually considered harmful to only have your life revolve around theater and nothing else. You should be as well rounded as you can be. It's okay to have other interests and hobbies outside of theater. Okay, and now on to the second movie. Sharpay was not doing all that stuff for Troy to be nice. She was trying to make it hard for Troy to spend time with Gabriella. And she was flirting with him and pretending to get bad at golf, knowing that he already has a girlfriend, and she was literally spying on them when they're having their cute little picnic date, and then she ratted them out to Fulton. Yeah. And she also banned everyone, including her own brother, from the talent show, and Gabriella just refused to put up with her nonsense. And she was just upset that Troy would like constantly miss dates, and the way he was treating his friends, like I don't think he was trying to treat his friends like that, but the way he was kind of ignoring everyone and then just letting Sharpay walk all over him. And granted, that was mainly Sharpay's fault, and Troy did not know. But Gabriella was just not really being happy in the relationship, so she had a right to want to leave. And in the third movie, Sharpay basically accepted Stanford for Gabriella so that she wouldn't be there on opening night so she could try to steal Troy again. And then she went butting into something that's not her business and told Troy about the Stanford thing for Gabriella before Gabriella told him to try to separate them and cause problems. And if anything, it brought them closer together because Troy would rather be with her than be at prom because prom is where Gabriella is. And it was Sharpay's own fault she spoiled her shot at Juilliard because one of the guys was trying to tell her that Troy's not going to be able to make it, and she chose to ignore him, and so she paid the price. Granted that Troy's understudy's not exactly super professional either, but if Sharpay cares so much about Juilliard, she should have stayed in character. And it's her own fault that Gabrielle was not there, so both Troy and Gabrielle, actually. And yes, she had her character development in her movie, but in High School Musical, all three High School Musical movies, she was a mean girl, okay? You can love you can love Sharpay, but Troy and Gabriella do not deserve the hate that they get at all. And Troy and Gabrielle are really not a bad couple, okay? They broke up once, and the first movie was a misunderstanding, and third movie they just couldn't go to prom together, so they're not at all toxic. I mean, they're a pretty normal couple. So let's stop throwing those words around without actually knowing what they mean. Also, Gabriella was the first person to tell Troy to be himself and not just the basketball guy. And Gabriella felt the same way around Troy, that